What's going on YouTube? This is ParkerLad88 coming at you with another video. I hope you guys are enjoying your 2015 year so far. So in this video, I want to talk about the new Ultra Athlete support that was scheduled to be released for Secrets of Eternity. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So let's go ahead and get into things by talking about the first UA monster, and that is UA Playmaker. So UA Playmaker is a Earth level 8 warrior monster that has 2600 attack points and 2000 defense points, and has the following effect. So you special summon it the same way you special summon all the other Ultra Athlete monsters. You can bounce an Ultra Athlete with a different name to special summon this guy, and you can only special summon him once that way per turn. So his other effect is that when another UA monster attacks, you can decrease this monster's attack points by 800, and then you can increase that Ultra Athlete monster's attack by 800, and you can only activate that effect once per turn. So what do I think about this card? It's pretty safe to say that UA Playmaker isn't really the Playmaker that we think he is. 2600 over 2k is actually pretty good for a level 8 monster, but its effect is kind of lackluster. You can only use it on all other Ultra Athlete monsters you control, and it decreases his own attack points in order to add some to, another's. Which, it's cool, you can deal more damage. It attempts to give UA some more battle phase control, but I think it's pretty safe to say this card really isn't all that great. So next, let's go ahead and talk about the second monster for Ultra Athletes, and that is UA Linebacker. So UA Linebacker is a level 7 Earth warrior monster with 1600 attack and 2700 defense. He also has the following effect. You can special summon him the same way you special summon all the other Ultra Athlete monsters, and then he has an additional effect that states that once per turn, if your opponent would special summon a monster or monsters, you can change their battle positions or its battle position. Yes, this card affects all monsters that would be special summoned. And if you do change their battle position, you can negate their effects. So this card, I think, is pretty darn good. It's pretty decent. It's nothing like super uber broken, but I think it's a nice solid support card. I think it definitely complements Perfect Days by giving you some extra defensive negating power, and it allows you to save Perfect Ace's negation and destroying for other things that you really feel like you have to, such as like spells and traps, or maybe a monster effect you think you would actually like to have off the field that you can't get rid of just by simply running it over. Let's also talk about its stats. I don't know about you, but I'm kind of upset by those stats. I think Konami knew exactly what they were doing when they made that card. That card has 1600 attack. That means that you can't search it with Giant Rat, you can't search it with Warrior Lady of the Wasteland. They knew exactly what they were doing when they made that. They could have made it 17, 18, anything else, but nah. They just wanted to rub it in by making a 1600 attacker. But that 2700 defense is also pretty good as well. I think that this is a pretty solid card. I would definitely run it at 1 in my Ultra Athlete deck. Now let's talk about the final support card. It is a quick play spell called UA Winning Tactics. So are you guys ready for this one? Because this effect is actually kind of a doozy. So you can only activate this card if you control 2 Ultra Athlete monsters that have different names. You can send back to the deck any number of monsters on the field. After you do that, you are then allowed to special summon any number of Ultra Athlete monsters with different names up to the number of monsters, or excuse me, up to the number of cards that you sent back to your main deck. After which, your opponent can do the same thing. They can special summon monsters from their main deck up to the number of monsters that will return to their main deck. You can only activate one of these per turn, and you cannot attack with the monsters that you bring out. So let's talk about this card really quick. This card is very interesting. It does a lot of interesting things. First, the fact that it's a quick play spell actually makes it pretty decent. The only one thing I don't like about it is the fact that it requires you to have 2 Ultra Athlete monsters, which isn't the most difficult thing to get, but be it that Ultra Athletes aren't the quickest deck in the world and can't just like throw up monsters all over the field, it takes a little while for this card to actually be live. For that reason, that would probably make the 1-up. Now let's talk about the things that it can do, or the things that it brings to the table. So it can give you some pretty decent defensive options, I think. Let's say you have a midfielder and you have a slugger on the field, you can play this card and you can go back into your deck and get out more defensive monsters, such as linebacker, goalkeeper, and perfect ace, of course. It also allows you to get rid of your opponent's monsters. The fact that it doesn't target is pretty darn nice, and if those monsters were special summoned from the extra deck, then your opponent doesn't get to special summon monsters, because it specifically says that you special summon monsters equal to the number of monsters that were sent back to your main deck. So that's actually really important. And then of course you only activate one per turn. So I think that if I would run this card, I'd probably run it at 1. I actually have no idea whether I'm going to run this card or not, but I definitely think that this card is worth testing. So what do you guys think about this new Ultra Athlete stuff? Are you excited about it? Do you not really care about it? Let me know in the comments, guys, and I'll be back at you later with future videos. This is Parker Lad.